right, it's been a while since I did something like this. Since I actually recorded a video. I haven't made a video since last month. And the reason for that is, I wanted to take some time off anyway, because I was feeling burnt out. I didn't feel like I was making the best content I could make, and I just felt like things were kind of grinding to a halt and there wasn't a lot to talk about. Now there's a lot to talk about, so I'm gonna talk about all the stuff, but also my break extended for a bit longer than I anticipated, and also streams stopped, which is one of the big things that I said wouldn't stop. For those of you who don't know, and if you don't know, why don't you know, I talk about it in every video, but I do streams over on Twitch basically every day, or I try and do streams every day on Twitch at 9 AM British time. But the last couple weeks I haven't been able to do that because my mic broke, and then I needed to get my laptop fixed. So content should be back. I did my first stream for a while this morning. It didn't go too well. We got a raid, but my mic needed to be adjusted properly. I didn't adjust my mic properly before starting the stream, so I got a raid, but no one could hear me, and then I got a load of people talking in Spanish, and they didn't hear me saying to keep the chat in English, and it was all, and by the time that I fixed my mic, everyone had already left. So it was a really weird, bad stream this morning. But anyways, without further ado, Hawkeye's Deep Dive came out. I'm gonna have some footage from the deep dive over the video. I wanted to do a reaction on this, like me watch the video and record my actual reaction as it was going on, but turns out that reaction would have been quite boring, because there's nothing really here that screams wow. We got a bit more of Maestro, but we already knew he was going to be in it. We got a bit more of, like, there's two Clints, and like one in the future and one in the past, and there's a new level to explore that is something from a comic book. It's not a really unique environment, and they've kind of tooled it to work in the universe of the game. But I'm talking about the Wastelands. It's not really a unique environment. It's not something that if you look at it directly you can tell, yeah, I know exactly that's definitely a Marvel thing. It's not like the Sanctum Sanctorum, the Baxter Building, the Avengers Tower. It's not even like a Pleasantville type area or a Pleasant Hill type area where you know that's definitely a Marvel-centric location. No, this is just a thing that just happens to be the setting for a certain comic run that features Hawkeye, and they were like, that specific run that was very recent, the Old Man Hawkeye run, we're going to take from that, but we're also going to take from Jeff Lemire's run, and we're going to mold the two, and they wouldn't really like interject with each other at all. I kind of need to play it when it comes out, which I will play live on stream when it comes out on March 18th. I'll probably play it March 19th because I've got to download it. I don't want to download it on stream. But anyways, I will play through the story of this on stream, and I do play Avengers on my streams pretty regularly. And I can play with viewers now because I have PSN. So yeah, I can play with you guys now. If you guys actually have Avengers and want to play with me, we can play together. But yeah, I'm confused by what the story actually is and why they chose this specific run, because everyone knows Old Man Logan, no one knows Old Man Hawkeye unless you're an actual comic book fan, and I think most of the people playing this game aren't massive comic book fans. So they're gonna look at Old Man Hawkeye and they're gonna be like, what the fuck is this? What is this? Why does this exist? This shouldn't be here. This doesn't need to be here. I thought Wolverine was the old guy in the future. But yeah, I like Maestro. I like the look of Clint as a playable character. However, it does still feed into my previous worries. I did make a video talking about that image that came out of Hawkeye with the sword, with the bow, and I just thought I'm getting more and more worried that Clint will just be Kate again, and it does look like that is definitely the case. Clint can't teleport. He has a grappling hook grappling hook instead. So it kind of like think Kamala Khan and Black Widow. He'll traverse a lot like that. In the same way as that, he has 10 different arrow variations. He also has a healing arrow, and he has the Rain of Arrows attack that I was basically gunning for from the start. Since like Kate and Clint were announced, I was like, one of them has to have some kind of Rain of Arrows attack, and Clint has that attack. Hopefully it gets a bit more of an AoE than it's got at the moment, because it's kind of how it looks in the trailer. It looks like it's just like a rain cloud that fires arrows on one enemy, and I'd rather that be like more of like a screen nuke kind of thing. And then we have his final attack, which is he shoots an arrow and it like zips around the screen. That's the screen nuke. I kind of would prefer that to be his assault, and the Rain of Arrows be the like ultimate, and that be like the big screen clearing thing. I don't know, I think that just like there's something more visually stimulating about shooting arrows in the air and then having them all fall down, and then maybe upgrading it to like there's a cloud of like gamma damage, or a cloud of fire damage, or a cloud of like poison damage or something from that. But like having the arrow that just shoots around, that doesn't seem like a very like it looks cool, but it doesn't look as cool as it would be if it was the Rain of Arrows. And I feel like what they did with the Rain of Arrows isn't that interesting visually. Hopefully it gets there's like an upgrade to give it like a wider radius and make it hit more enemies. But at the moment, really can pass on it. But the biggest thing for me is that you kind of Crystal Dynamics decided to put two characters that, even with the animation differences, and even with the special moves being different and kind of the traversal being different, it's still two sword-wielding archers that are very similar being put very, very close together, being put basically back to back. It would be the same as if Black Widow and Mockingbird were put in exactly the same. Mockingbird, yes, you can give her different animations to Black Widow, but she's still just the same character. Like when you there's no point. Like, there's not really a decision between Clint and Kate, because either way you're getting the same kind of thing. It's just one of them can heal you and one of them can't. One of them's more based on AoE and the other one isn't. Like, I need to see how they play, how they play like together. But it just seems like you put two very, very similar characters in the same into the same game, like 2 updates apart. That seems very, either put them in the same update, or have there be like a sizable gap, have like 2 characters come in in between them. And the other thing that I kind of didn't like is I was expecting a tease at the end for like the next content drop after this. So like we have a longer wait for Clint to actually come into the game, but he's coming in with the PS5 edition that's going to update a lot of things. But he's supposedly the longer wait is because there is a lot more content coming in with Clint. We have the wastelands as a new like area to explore. This game's calling them biomes. I don't quite like that because it gives me like Minecraft vibes. I don't like that. I'm just gonna go ahead and call them areas, and that's exciting because it's a new area to explore. Supposedly they put a lot more effort into Maestro. It doesn't look it from the gameplay that we've seen. It doesn't look like Maestro's had that much effort put into him. It just looks like a reskinned, kind of retooled Abomination fight, which I want the next boss that they put in to be something really different. I want there to be something like really unique come in with the next boss. And like, if they have, because the next character coming out is supposedly meant to be Black Panther, which that's got me hyped because it's a character that's completely different to anything else that we've got. He's probably going to be most similar to Cap, but even then he's going to be like very different to Cap. And I'm really excited to see what they bring in with that, because apparently we're getting a Wakanda raid. We're getting a lot of stuff with Black Panther that's been teased in the pipeline, and that kind of has me more excited than what we are getting sooner. The Hawkeye stuff, the story stuff looks really good, but judging from Kate, the story stuff was only 4 hours. I want it to be a lot longer, and if it is only 4 hours, I'm going to be severely disappointed, because, you know, the story stuff is the stuff that I enjoy most. And looking from this, it seems really interesting, it's really engaging, and it's the stuff that I am most hyped about. I want to see where this game goes story-wise. I understand that this game is meant to be a games as a service type thing. I understand that it's all about the end game, the grind, it's all about the playing with friends aspect, but I don't think that's the strongest part of the game. I think the strongest part of the game is the story and the way the story is told, and just how the characters are being represented through the story and how the story is written. I think that is the strongest part of the game, and everything else is just okay to monotonous at best. The end game grind is massively monotonous, which is why I've kind of gone away from Avengers for a while, because I'm just not having fun getting every character to power level 150. It's not a fun thing to do. I've gotten 3 characters to that point, and it was a nightmare getting 1 character to that point. Getting 3 characters to that point took me nearly forever. Like, getting to level 50 is easy. It's really easy. You can get to level 50 in like a little over 4 hours. If you're concentrating on that one character, you can get them to level 50 in very, very, like, just over 4 hours. But anyway, we're here to talk about Hawkeye, and Hawkeye looks good. He looks good. I can't say that he doesn't, because he looks like he's going to be fun to play. My only stipulations going into this is it's so close to Kate. The Maestro fight looks so similar to Abomination, and Abomination is just like retooled assets from Hulk, and that's already a lazy boss fight. We're gonna have another lazy boss fight on top of Taskmaster, who is a lazy boss fight because it's retooled Black Widow and Captain America assets, and the Super Adaptoid, which is a lazy fight because it's retooled Captain America, Kamala Khan. It's just retooled assets from the base game characters that you get given, and it's just, I want a fight that is different, and a fight that is based off a comic book character that is different and feels different, which is why I've been after this, because Maestro, Wastelands, interdimensional things, Kree, that all screams like really big level stuff. So after this, with the Black Panther update, I think they should scale it down a bit. I think they should go with some villains that are not as prevalent, and maybe have like Claw and Killmonger and maybe Manape. If it's going to be a raid, then there's no reason why they can't put a load of villains in this one update, and then they've got several villain sectors that they can add afterwards. That's an idea, isn't it? But the whole thing with adding one character, one boss, and like maybe you get a new area, but with Kate you didn't. I think the new areas thing is going to be a thing going on with every character. You're at least going to get a new hub world. At some point they're going to put in a new hub world, be that Avengers Tower, be that the Sanctum Sanctorum, the Baxter Building, because Doctor Strange is coming. We've had like teasers of Doctor Strange, so I think the Sanctum Sanctorum is going to be a hub world, and maybe some mystical area, like the please, the Dark Dimension. When Doctor Strange comes in, please take us to the Dark Dimension, and have us explore around in the Dark Dimension for a bit. I really think that would be a massive thing for this game, because it's going to be visually stimulating. It's going to look really cool on the PS5, and that's what this game needs to think about. What is going to look cool on the PS5, and they can do that with the raids. They can have like these areas that will look really cool. The Vault, they have a few Hulk villains already in there. Just add a few more. Maybe Zax, maybe Red Hulk. I don't know. Let me know in the comments below. Would you like Red Hulk to be a playable character or a boss fight? A lot of people are probably going to say both. I don't want the bosses to become characters, because a lot of the bosses have been retooled versions of character assets, and having like a playable Taskmaster would be terrible, because it would just be like Captain America and Black Widow again. So that I kind of wouldn't want. I've heard a lot of people screaming put Venom in the game. Why? Spider-Man's already been going to become a console exclusive, at least for a little while. So if they put Venom in the game, he's going to be another console exclusive, at least for a little while. Maybe Venom might stick as the console exclusive, that no pun intended, but I'm going to write that one out. But yeah, the Hawkeye update, I'm interested to see what it does with the story side of things. I'm interested to see if the story side of things is longer than Kate, because I was severely disappointed with how long Kate's story was, and I was disappointed with how long the actual game's story was. Like for an RPG like this, you expect the main story to take you at least 20 hours. This took barely under 10, and then the like DLC was 4. I want like Hawkeye's story, because it's balancing 2 different places, new biome, new villain. I hope this is like at least 6 hours, at least. So yeah, I have high hopes for Avengers going forward. This seems to be a step in the right direction. They're putting a lot more effort into this, and it looks like they're emphasizing story a bit more, and maybe that might be the thing going forward. But I do want there to be some endgame content as well. So fingers crossed this is a good update for Marvel's Avengers. Hopefully it is. I see no reason why it shouldn't be. But yeah, I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.